I think one of the reasons Dennis wanted me to come and talk to you folks is something that's been going on in Long Island for quite some while called revitalization, especially in our downtowns. When I became the president of the Chamber of Hicksville, I poked around and said, this area does not look pretty at all. We've got the largest train station, a lot of mishmash back and forth. So I started poking around and asking what's going on. Well, lo and behold, I found out that they had projects talking about the same area in downtown Hicksville since 1969. I was born in '68. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. So as I talked more and more and more to other people, something didn't seem right. So I actually got somebody from the town of Oyster Bay off the record. He goes, Lionel, you're never going to get anything done here until you get the 6 civic associations, the community council, the water district, the fire department, and every other community organization on board. Can anybody guess how long that took? Take a guess. 7.5 years. Meetings upon meetings upon meetings. I don't want this, I don't want that, I need me. I said, listen folks, we'll start the process. We'll sit, we'll talk. But you need to understand things change. I had a situation where we walked into a very large open meeting about revitalization, and these 2 women jumped on my case. They were pointing their fingers, you want to revitalize, we don't want apartments, we don't want this, we don't want that. I said, ladies, I'm happy you came down. I live in Suffolk County. This is your community. I'm just here steering the ship, and I need your input so you can tell me where you want that ship to go. I said, you mentioned apartments. Why don't you want apartments? Well, apartments means Queens and other parts of the county and Long Island and the city that we don't want. We moved away from that. I said, how long ago did you move away from that? 40 years, 35 years. I said, okay. What do you have now? Single family home, small lot, whatever the case may be, near the train station so they could go back and forth into the city to work. They're both retired now, so I asked them, did you have kids? Yes. Did your kids go to college? Yes, they all went away to college. Did they graduate? Yeah. When they graduate, where'd they live? They moved back in with us. I said, why'd they move back in with you? There's no affordable place for them to live. They don't want to come out of college to buy a house. They don't have the money. How long did they stay with you? One said 6.5 years until they saved enough money to buy a house. The other one said, my kids are still living with me in my basement. And it's a little disheartening to have that conversation over and over and over again. So having that conversation over and over and over again with different people, different parts of the community. We also have a very large South Asian portion of the community. Very intelligent, very intellectual. They're entrepreneurs, they make money. They've raised the values of the homes in the Hicksville at a ridiculous rate. Ridiculous. Does anybody know that there are several $1-million homes in Hicksville right now? In Hicksville. I've driven past and go, what the heck is that? And they're selling. They are definitely selling. So taking that all in consideration, we got everybody on the plate, same page. We capped everything out at about 500, not too much. A couple little things here and there. We had some eyes on buildings, and we worked with Vision Long Island, and we presented a plan to the town of Oyster Bay. And everybody says, you're going to get shot down. So I told everybody, you need to get involved. We brought some community members with us, and they spoke as we gave the presentation. The supervisor at the time, no matter what you might say, he said, I am extremely shocked and proud that you were able to get the community to come out and talk on your behalf. We were just happy that the town didn't say yes to the plan, but they didn't say no. And that's the first time that had ever happened. That was 2013. So here we are now. If you're not aware of, Hicksville was the second winner of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative by New York State and Governor Cuomo. We got $10 million. Everybody's like, hooray, $10 million, we can do a whole bunch of stuff. You know what $10 million is? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, I'll buy a building. Okay, you bought the building. You're gonna pay the taxes, you're gonna renovate. Where's your renovation money? I don't have it. What else are you gonna do? We got office space, you need to switch that over. Where's your money? We don't have it. So now what do we have? We have a solid plan. The town's in the process of changing zoning to accommodate what used to be there. When you sit there and you look at pictures like that, what did Hicksville used to be? Hicksville used to be retail on the bottom, apartments on top. You look at the same places now, they're either office buildings or they're parking lots. We have to go back to the way it was. Everything in life is cyclical. So as I'm doing my stuff, I know Dennis, I'm on the board for the Nassau Council of Chambers of Commerce, and I looked at Hempstead and I said, wow, you guys are doing stuff also. Sounds like you're doing bigger and better. And I grew up in Roosevelt. My mom used to tell me when we lived in Boston, we came through, she goes, Hempstead used to be the spot. TSS, all these big, beautiful stores, A&S. You would come down, you would walk around, the nightlife was fantastic. Well, guess what? Things have changed. Now, I'm not saying come into Hempstead and knock everything down and build whatever you want. You need to start from someplace. You need to get the right developer that understands. As I look at the newspaper and I hear, people talking, I hear gentrification and all these other things in the school district and the back and forth and this, that. But somebody said it earlier today. This is what they don't see from the village of Hempstead. They don't see this. They see all the bad stuff, all the negative stuff, the media, all this back and forth. There are great entrepreneurs here. Like I said, I couldn't get this many small business owners in a building unless I had to pay them. And we were in Hicksville. I couldn't do it. We've had events like this. It was in a civic center. It wasn't this nice. We did what we can. We had about 3 or 4 vendors, and it was like, eh. So you guys have the materials. You have the people that care. You have the entrepreneurship that is there. You need to go out and support them. Whether you like something or not, you need to have that conversation. Don Ryan's been around for how long?
Forever.
Forever? I was just mentioning, I'm a trustee at SUNY Westbury. We just had an event with Ken Chenault came down, and we're standing there, and there's 150 people, and 200 people in the room, and Ken Chenault's talking about Don Ryan and Hempstead. And I said, well, what do you think? He goes, you need to keep pushing forward. Government is not there as a Band-Aid. Government is of the people, by the people, for the people. But if the people don't get involved, what do you expect government to do? It's not always about numbers. I always look at government as a business that has a super high morality. Do you know how tough that is? If you're sitting there going line by line, trying to put together a budget, and what always comes last? The education stuff. The stuff that's really not going to generate, but it's by the people and it's for the kids and everything. Do you keep that? Do you trim it away? Things are changing. Things are changing, but you need to have your input. If I come into Hempstead again, I want to come into a room that's packed. I have to wait in line. I have to take the stairs because the elevator's packed. There's too much opportunity here. And again, I'm not saying go huge and go big. Our biggest challenge right now in Hicksville is finding the right developer. I will say this, and I'll take off my other official hats. This is my personal opinion. Everybody heard Sears is closing, right? Do you know how many units they want to put in there? Take a guess. It's 26 acres. They want to put in 597 units. I was like, are you guys kidding me? That's a lot of units. I thought you guys said you were going to do 400 and something or 350 before. No, this was the original number. No, it wasn't. So as they go back around to the community, guess what? They're getting ripped to pieces. People want what they want. Those people have been educated. We've gone through the process. They understand why in the triangle area in Hicksville, we maxed it out at 500 now with a possible 800 down the road because we want to see how it goes. If anybody's gone to Patchogue looks beautiful now, thriving downtown. They said, no more, stop. No more new stores. They said, we don't want retail. If you put in a restaurant, you need to be surrounded by retail. They're getting down to the nitty gritty. They've already started the process and they had the wherewithal to say, we've gotten to a point where we need to stop now and see what else is going on. But the people are involved. You gotta be involved. I told my committee when we started 7 years ago, when we get close to the end, all the difficult people are gonna come out at the end. And I was absolutely right. I don't even go on Facebook anymore because it's brutal. You did this and nobody told me. Well, we've been doing this for 7 years. What do you mean nobody told you? You need to do this and you need to put it in a newspaper. I was like, you got newspaper money? The other people here knew about it. And I told somebody, I said, I'm not an elected official. I told her, shame on you for not knowing what's going on in your community. That's not my fault, that's your fault. I don't even live here. It takes me 45 minutes to get into Hicksville. Why do I know about it and you don't? Well, because you're the chamber. Then come to a chamber meeting. Here's my card. We had a meeting one day and these 5 women popped up. Kind of knew they were coming and they're very vocal, I'm sorry. And the meeting was over and they had me outside and they're like, you need to put together a depository online and you need to do this and you need to do this on Facebook. I said, ma'am, I don't need to do anything. I've done plenty. Why don't you put a depository of all the information online? Why don't you create a website and a Facebook page and reach out to your friends and family? Well, we're in a section where we don't have a civic. I said, why don't you start a civic? Not hard. Tell you what, here's my business card. Call my cell phone anytime. Guess who never called me? It's not funny, it's sad. And these are the people that are going to be coming to the meetings now because it's something important to do and they see that there's money there and now all of a sudden they're concerned. I say stop. I told somebody the other day, because I'm not getting on Facebook and having these discussions anymore. Be vocal, be involved. Rest assured, myself and other people who care and have gone through this process are in the background. We know what you want. We know what the area needs. We're doing what we can in the background. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, Independent, this guy, that guy, I don't like him. Guess what? They're in the position. You need to work with them. Have a conversation. If you want to stand there and you don't want to move, guess what? Nothing's going to happen. And you're going to go through another cycle of nothing. And everything else in every other town is going to pop up and you're going to stand there going, I don't know what happened. How come we're not getting it? Where were you? Again, where's everybody's friends? This is a great event. It's Saturday. It's beautiful out. Where is everybody? Does anybody kind of get the point of what I'm trying to say? Tell your neighbors, you missed out. If they're going to do something in Hempstead, you need to come down and talk. You need to get involved. It's for you now, it's for your kids, it's for the education, it's to teach entrepreneurship, to say that there are people like you and I that are here that have products for sale, who are very talented. This person, oh my gosh, where'd you find her? I'm like, serious? I would never in my wildest dreams even imagine. But if I can drive 45 minutes from Manorville to come here to participate in this, you're in Hempstead, you could probably walk, catch an Uber. There's no more excuses. And you as citizens and people that care, you need to tell your friends, if you're not gonna come down, you gotta be quiet. And if you don't wanna do it, give them my number, I'll tell them. It's quite all right. You've got volunteers out here, Bobby, Dennis, thousands of hours of volunteer work to do stuff and put stuff like this together. You'd like a pat on the back, that's not why we do it. But again, when you're out there and you're doing this stuff and then all you get is people complaining, you've got to turn them around, look them dead in the eye and go, where were you? Be rest assured, if you work together, it will get there. You will get there. Everybody and their mother told me you will never get anything done in Hicksville, ever. I should have just said, it took 7, 8, 9 years. Now we got it done. And the first person that called me up to say, hey, listen, there's a grant available, you guys should go for it, was one of the first persons that told me, you're wasting your time. And I looked him in the face, I was like, really? He goes, yeah, you know what? We didn't expect that you would put in this much work, and we didn't expect that you actually gave a damn. This is what we do. So again, everybody, I won't take up too much time. If you have any questions, reach out. This is your community. Get involved and tell your neighbors they need to get off their tuchus. They need to come down, spend a couple of bucks with these vendors. These vendors need to be able to take credit cards, because I don't walk around with cash. Swipe your card, get their money, teach the young, sell stuff. You're not worried about the mall and the internet and stuff. And you vendors here, you better have a beautiful website that takes credit cards, because I'm going to check every one of you out. But again, everybody, thank you so much. Get involved. Thank you.